What do you think is a good experiment to be made today, to be done today, or is happening already?
In tech, like whatever
Yes.
is your expertise in terms of what's the boundary or what's the frontier today for you?
I think, this is a very broad question, but there's something to say about how the physical world and the virtual world are almost merging.
Collapsing, yeah.
Yeah.
And so this is interesting because first it was everything physical, like you went to the store and all, then everything became virtual.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of getting to
A kind of
coming
an
to
impasse where both are looking at each other, sort of,
Yeah.
we need to get back closer, kind of a thing. I don't know my vocabulary.
and what it could unlock in terms of convenience, in terms of innovation,
Yeah.
in terms of everything. And especially when you think about this, so let's talk about fashion, right?
Yeah.
It's very easy to kind of, we started with sunglasses, AR, or whatever. You can kind of actually turn on the camera and you can try different sunglasses
Yeah.
or reading glasses or whatever, right? And then you
Yes.
pick and you say, yes, I want to buy this. Similarly with outfits.
Mm-hmm.
And now if you see, that still exists, but then you have the person from Amazon waiting outside your door with 5 outfits and like, try it. If you don't like it, I'm waiting here for 15 minutes. I'll take it back.
Yeah.
So it's almost gone to another. We thought with the virtual, it's so cool. I can sit and shop, but then still there is this little bit of like, I don't know what it'll look like, right? When it actually comes.
Yeah.
And now it's like completely at your fingertips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's one area. The other big area, which is on the verge of disruption, I think, same thing, physical and virtual, is your vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
And the car is going to become a device, just like your phone,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and a big continuation of your life. How you go from home to car to work to wherever you are and back,
Mm-hmm.
that device is going to be tracking you
Yeah.
and creating opportunities for you to make your life so much more seamless.
Yes.
So you could shop from the car, or you could pay your bank bills from the car, because the car dash is actually a device that is at your fingertips, or buy tickets from the car and play your favorite music, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
So that we haven't yet started that, but I mean, now some of these cars already have that. And then when you get to autonomous driving,
Yeah.
that 1 hour or 2 hours that you spend in the car is time for productivity.
Yeah.
Or at least attention, whether it be
You could
entertainment or
or sleep or anything
Yeah.
that you want. And in the next 5-10 years, that's going to be massive. Massive. I don't know. I mean, can't even imagine what it'll be if you get those 2 hours back
Yeah.
and all these capabilities in those 2 hours.
Yeah.
I want to ask a quick.
Especially with voice recognition and everything, right? You can just sit in your car and say, take me here and pick up a Starbucks. And I've seen demos where 8:15 you get in the car is like, hey, do you want to just stop by at your regular Starbucks? Starbucks knows what you want. So it's ready for you. You pick it up, get to work. On the way, certain calls that are going to be made, or your calendar is synced also. The car will just dial it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You wrap up your work. You want to listen to music on the way back, come back, stop at the grocery store, pick up your stuff. Don't even walk in, right? It's curbside pickup.
Yeah.
And you head home.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like virtual assistants and sort of characters that are going to get introduced to our lives. Yes.
Yeah. I think maybe to sort of bring it back to where we started from, the whole discussion, which was sort of architecture and the education within architecture that you had. I think we can put a nice bow to this conversation. I want to ask you, do you think this confrontation that you speak about, will architecture in the way we know it now, the way we know our cities, the way we know our neighborhoods, the way we know our streets, will architecture play a role, or what is going to be the confrontation with architecture itself like going forward?
Yeah,
according to you?
as a profession, right?
Yes, as a profession.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to evolve. It is going to start intermingling more and more with tech.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, you're designing these cities, streets, homes, buildings.
We do have this current discussion going on about, is this something architecture has never dealt with? We've dealt with efficiency, but we've never dealt with something called real time. Real time. It's something architects have never had to think about. And that, in that sense, like, we think you're in a great, very unique position. In fact, do you think you still see cities as an architect?
Yeah.
That must be cool, right? Like,
yeah. And I mean, I would say architecture hasn't had to think about this at the pace at which technology is changing. But at a slower pace, it definitely had to think about it. When we moved from staircases to escalators, when elevators came in, designs had to evolve. We had to account for these changes. When there were doors and
louvers at the window, controlling heat.
Yeah. And if you really think about it, cities were designed based on weather patterns and movements of the sun and all of that. So a lot of that has been taken into account and at a slower pace. And in fact, I think architects will have a very big role to play with this physical and virtual changing worlds. And you can already see it in homes, right? With the way you put in your appliances or things that you have in your house, like wired speakers or whatever you talk about, weather systems, AC systems. People are thinking about it. Now expand that to a city level. And it will impact. And I think this is the right time, if architecture education is not already looking at it, to start including that in the curriculum. And creating that awareness.
But I think when you are on the street, like you said, you think about it as an architect. I'm pretty sure you're also looking at a building and saying, this is the next, like looking at it as an X-ray and thinking these are the things that need to get integrated into this in terms of tech now. There are going to be these things, and I think that's
because we always complain, architects, we always talk about big data as something that architecture could use, but somehow architecture doesn't have its own big data. We don't know.
I think we need to start creating it
and collecting data of what architecture is and already exists, right? And then know what kind of a sensor you need, how thick the wall is, how well does your facade know you and your habits. I don't know, I'm just riffing here, but
totally. So
all that could be.
Big data now is making a huge impact in the health tech industry.
Okay.
So, and it's still new, but it's happening. I was just reading this article where they're talking about companies trying to look at health patterns and health data of thousands of people and trying to match it. Like when I walk in, they'll be like, oh, you look like this cohort of users that we've seen based on your health history or whatever. So these are my recommendations for you to continue leading a healthy life or make these changes because these folks have these diseases and you are on that path. So they're analyzing so much data to tell you what's the best lifestyle or medication or whatever for you. It's just happening.
I'm worried if that app is going to say, we know how much time you're spending at the northern window of your house. You need to go spend some more time at the southern window, for vitamin D. And then architecture is like, There is
Oops.
a director inside the house telling you what to do. No, I'm just kidding. But
Yeah.
Yeah, but there could be technology that's, the things that we look at, like orientation of the house,
yeah.
all of that. It could just happen through a software.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.